Bonjour. C'est Planet Glee. Yes. Buenas noches. Planet Glee once again, otra vez. Otra fois. Besos y besos a todos. This evening we have a very esteemed guest. You can read his name in the blue there. Ron Bermudez. And he has a show here on SF Commons, public access TV from San Francisco, called Salsa La Raza.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
without further ado, we will introduce me. Let's have Ron first. There he is. Dum-de-dum. Yay! I think maybe moving more toward the camera.
Okay.
Yeah, there you are.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
Hi, Ron.
Okay.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Well, it's a pleasure. You're always up there in the where we edit all the programs, working on your program, and I see you working hard. So, I want to help you in whatever way I can.
Oh, thank you. I wanted to have you on the show anyway.
Yeah.
No question about that. Yeah, that's been. Why am I so high? Moved out
Because
a
I'm
little bit.
Russian. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think salsa dancing is very difficult. It's not the easiest thing to do, and you're like a teacher. So shall we start with some of the wonderful videos that you've got to
Yeah.
show?
Let's.
Let's talk about how long you've been doing.
Okay.
You've been doing
Well,
that.
I am the longest running, producer on Channel 29 or on the public access channel as a whole. I've been here since 1973, and we'll see the manager of the public access channel back in 1973, and he'll verify that I'm telling you guys the truth. So let's go to him first if you want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do that then. So
You can see where it says witness or something like that.
I am doing that in the wrong place. There we are. And
Keep going, keep going.
he's right here. And
Okay,
then, and then
that's for the celebration coming up in September. But there you should have something about witness. Well, let's start with that one
yeah.
because that's more important.
Another patriotic deed that a lot of people died for the United States, and the people were dying were Hispanics, were American Indians, were Spanish people, and the mixture that came out of them, mixing with also the first black slaves that spoke Spanish. That mixture of people also died when they all decided it was time to separate themselves from Spain and to take the southwest of the United States, the Caribbean, and Central America, South America, Mexico, all of it, all the way down to Argentina. And they said, we want to be separated from Spain. Well, it turns out that at the time, there was a viceroyalty called the Viceroyalty of New Spain. It only included the southwest of the United States, Mexico, Central America, up to Panama. And that's, and the Caribbean, all the islands in the Caribbean. And at September 15th of 1810, they declared their independence from Spain. And they fought and they liberated that whole territory from Spain. And most of it is the southwest of the United States. Now, where is that patriotic deed of all those people that died fighting to liberate the southwest of the United States from Spain? Where's that patriotic deed in the history books of the United States recognized as a patriotic deed of Hispanics, La Raza, Latin Americans, half-breeds for the Republic of the United States? Thank you.
That's it.
Ah, can tell that you felt very strongly about what you were talking about.
Yeah, well, like I said, people died fighting to make independent the southwest of the United States. And when the United States decided that they wanted to take it over, they just took it over. But if if the Hispanics, La Raza, whatever you guys want to call us, had not liberated that territory, the United States wouldn't have had any territory to go, because Spain was, at the time, they were one of the most powerful, forces and armed forces in the world and so on. So it would have been pretty tough, but we made it easy for them. And you don't see that you don't see that on any book of history of the United States. I had to go do my research with the Mexican historians and with the historians from the Kingdom of Spain, and that's how I got that information. But it was not, something that was out there in the books of the United States, in the schools, colleges, universities, anywhere. I had to go dig into the archives of the Kingdom of Spain and the government of Mexico.
Wow.
Okay, now let's see, what do we do to attract people so that when they come over to my program, I'm able to give them a little bit of my research and the Hispanics and their priorities for the United States. But I do that attracting people with my skills that I have developed as a salsa dancer and historian again. I dug into the history of salsa and so on. So let's show them a little clip of how I met this professional. Her name is Elena. She's continuously competing in the top places of the world. And, we just did a little clip together, so go ahead and play it.
I just want to get it full screen. Doesn't want to do it. Oh, there we go. Yay!
You got it?
Yeah, she was. She's something else. She's a very talented lady. Like I said, she's always competing in the top places of all kinds of competitions all over the world, even the World Championship. She's tried there. So that's what I do, on my salsa side and my salsa universe that I created. Because when I came to the United States, I was only 16 years old. But right away, I already had been on the radio in Nicaragua, in my country, as a little kid, in little kids programs where they will give us a box of cereal if we wrote a poem. So I had been doing that. So I had some experience on the microphone, and also we had a live audience there. So I also did that. I had learned how to deal with the audience. And, my training also as a Cub Scout, but I was involved
Can you explain what a Cub Scout was?
Well, in those days in Nicaragua, the Cub Scout thing was run by the CIA, and unknown to us, we were just little kids trying to have fun in the Cub Scouts. We were getting trained into all kinds of counter-revolution type of thing in the jungles and so on. So that helped us because we have been exposed to danger and hard training at 7. So when I got here, I was very disciplined, and I was ready to, I wanted to show the world all the beautiful music that I had gotten or knowledge of all the beautiful music of Cuba, how Cuba started everything that's now called salsa. It's
Really?
called salsa, but really it's Cuban music that everybody made their own imitation of, okay? Because they were the ones that invented. First, they invented the song from Cuba. They invented the guaguancó from Cuba and the guaracha. And then from there, they took the part of the cha-cha-cha that goes cha-cha-cha, and they just repeated it 2 times, and then that was called mambo. And so everything that's we call salsa now came from Cuba, but in the 1970s, most of the Puerto Ricans in New York, the musicians and everybody, got together with a gentleman that was like a marketing person, and so he marketed that whole movement of salsa into calling it salsa, and that's how it became known as salsa.
What year are we talking?
74, 73, around there.
And so Cuba at that time was
They were not. That's why people from New York and Puerto Rico and from all over the world kind of took over the salsa movement, because remember that the United States and Cuba didn't have any kind of relations. So, in fact, I got fired from a radio station because I was playing Cuban music, and they said if I was playing Cuban music, I was a communist, and they fired me for being a communist. And all I was doing was playing music from Cuba. I wasn't even talking about politics in those days. But that's how bad the relations were between the United States and Cuba. And so, it was open, and the marketing people in the United States took over the marketing of salsa from Cuba. Yeah.
Do you how being from Nicaragua, which looked to Cuba and to Russia as as
Yeah, well, we're just like Miami is. We're the same way, 50 miles away from them. So we turn on the radio and we listen to Cuba 24 hours a day, and they used to have really good soap operas also. So my mother will listen to the soap operas, and we listen to the music. And also they had the baseball games live, and a lot of the during the season of baseball in Cuba, a lot of the people from the big leagues of the United States went there and played there. So it was exciting, all kinds of stuff. So, but one thing I have to mention is that the players that came to Nicaragua from Cuba to do exhibition games, they were very professional and very stylish in the way they made their moves, catching the ball in baseball and everything else. And those moves that I learned from them playing baseball, eventually I put them into my dancing salsa, because that's what they were doing. They had those kinds of moves. So it was very, very cool, and I had a lot of knowledge about their music and everything else. So it was very easy for me at the tender age of 16 to just go to a radio station, pretend I was 18, and they gave me the program, and from then on, it's just all history, how everybody was racist against Cuba, okay? Everybody kept telling me, what are you doing playing black music from Cuba? And I said, it's beautiful, that's why. Listen to it. And sure enough, between my age of, 16, by the time I turned 25, I was the number 1 DJ of all the Hispanic radio stations. They had me on commuting time from 3 to 6, so, my ratings, and I was the first guy to start doing bilingual programs also. So I was bringing in the audience that spoke English and the audience that spoke Spanish. And so my ratings started to show up in the regular ratings of KGO, in those days, KFRC, KYA, and all those things. And so all of a sudden, everybody wanted me, okay? And so at the same time that everybody wanted me, sure enough, this guy, the manager of a new radio station, he doubled my salary. He put me on driving time and everything else. And as soon as I started in that radio station, when I was 25 years old, as soon as I started and I played the first Cuban music or something, right away, all my enemies, all the DJs that were jealous of me because they couldn't beat me on the ratings, they went to the, and also my ex-boss that was pissed off because I had left his radio station, Mr. Kerry and Mrs. Kerry from KBRG FM 105.3, they got pissed off and they also went and talked to the guy. How did I know all that? Because the guy that I had hired was the chief engineer, because I was also an engineer, so I was I was going to get a job as an engineer and as a DJ. And he told me, he said, "You are the number one thing and I want to bring you in here." Well, that wasn't the owner, right? Mm-hmm. So what all these evil people did, they went to the owner and told him, he's playing Cuban music, he's a communist, and blah, blah, blah. And so I didn't even get a chance to get on the air. I got fired before I got on the air. No. But I have to say something. I'm thankful to them. I'm really thankful to them because since I couldn't get on the radio as a DJ, I had already a little license as an engineer. I went back to college and I got the big license, like the number. In those days, they used to call it the first class Federal Communications Commission license. And with that license, boom, I joined the union and I ended up working on KSFO with the 49ers, with the Giants, with the Oakland A's, and with the TAP. At that time, there was a program on TV that was very popular all over the United States, and it was called The Dating Game. And the name of the host was Jim Land, and I ended up working with him as his engineer on KSFO. Yeah. So, and then, right around that time also, I turned around and I started going, because I had been fired from radio, I started going to get my certificates at College of San Mateo, San Mateo, San Francisco City College, and Laney College in Oakland. And also in the college near the coast, I forgot the name, but Cañada College. I think it was the Cañada. Yeah. Up in the area of Skyline around there. Mm-hmm. I went there too, so I ended up going to 4 different colleges, and I was learning 2 things. I was learning telecommunications because everything was becoming computerized in those days. So I feel I might as well. Radio stations as they are now, they are not going to be anymore. They are going to be all computerized. So I was taking computers and I was taking all my TV production and everything else. So sure enough, I just, Channel 70, Channel 6 in those days, I think it was, public access channel in San Francisco. Oh, okay. As soon as I produced my first tape with a band I had of musicians from Santana, Tec, and Malo, and I brought it over to Channel 29, it was fame overnight because my program was played for a month, 24 hours a day, because people kept calling that they wanted to listen to it again and again and again. Because in those days, the musicians from Santana, Tec, and Malo were like very super powerful. Yeah. So, and I had grown up with them. I had helped them a lot on my radio programs. So now they wanted to be on my TV program also. So it just is good.
Did you actually have the band Santana on your show?
Yeah. I have On September 15th, I'm going to run it because what I used to do was I used to also organize, this was beautiful, from 1975, 76, 2 years, I rented the Cow Palace in San Francisco, and I brought the band of Santana, Tecán Malo, the musicians that had grown up with me and that were now there, the Escobedo brothers, Rico Reyes, the lead singer for Santana. I mean, Chepito had, he had practiced in the garage of my mother when he came over, and I introduced him to the Escobedos and so on. And I was the one that gave Sheila E. her first gig ever, playing with the band of Santana Tecán Malo. So it was just, TV became great for me. It made me famous like that. And then doing the shows at the Cow Palace of uniting all La Raza. People don't know this, but I actually snuck in the audience to unite all La Raza, people that were fighting from Cuba against all the dictators all over Latin America and trying to take over those countries. And they hated each other. And I was able to bring them in, keep the politics out of the program, just talk about uniting La Raza, and there were no fights, no arguments, and we all rejoiced being together as La Raza, Everybody was represented there, especially our ancestors, the American Indians. I invited, the important organizations of American Indians in San Francisco, and they were there too. So it was really successful for 2 years.
What year was this?
75, 76 at the Cow Palace. Yeah, it was. I mean,
Cool.
it was just great. I mean, the spiritual meaning of it, okay? If I had abandoned the spiritual meaning and gone commercial, maybe I would have had 20, 30,000 people, whatever the Cow Palace can hold. But since I wanted to concentrate on uniting La Raza, like I told you, the communists that were on one side of that were uniting with La Raza, the American Indians, and the people that were killing the communists and the communists killing them, they were all there and they didn't know that I had mixed them to celebrate the true meaning of La Raza, of unity. So it was great. It was really great. But I think this is the first time that I should tell people about that. So I might get a few calls from them.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Does the people who call in to Richard Rand's show, they don't call in here? Call us up. We're actually on Democracy Now. I saw tonight that Puerto Rico was very big in the Democratic convention right now.
Yeah. No, they are very active. One of my brother-in-laws, because my first wife was from Puerto Rico, Alberti, and his name was Harry Alberti. He was a deputy in the government of there for a while. They rotate them, or he was starting to get ill by then, and I think that he retired. But he was a deputy there, and I never talk about politics with most of my friends. I talk more about how politics affects poor people. I don't talk about the leaders and the parties because I don't care. My father was in the CIA. My father was in the Communist Party, both of them. And he gave me everything. I asked him why. And he said, because I wanted to find out what both big, parties, the capitalist from the United States and from the rest of the world, and the communists from Russia and Cuba and the rest of the world.
I guess China too, right?
Yeah, what were they trying to provide for the poor people, the ones that need the help? And he found out that all governments are the same. All governments, all they want is your family to go to their wars and fight it for them, and the money from your family to pay taxes so they can live the high life. That's it. All countries are like that. There's no hope. So
There's
I
no
just
hope.
I just talk about families, the poor families that need help. How can we help them? You know, as communities of families. That's all we can do. Help each other as communities of families from different countries. And if someday we can take the government away from all these politicians and just have the families governing or being the government of all the nations, then I think there's a chance for humanity to really be good to each other. But outside of that, I don't see it.
Wow, that was really well said.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. So you want to look at another? Now
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
we have
this is
time.
this is a clip of one of my best students I had, and this was the first demonstration that I made her do in public. Okay, and her name is Sandra, and go ahead, let it roll. You'll see how I train her to be a performer.
Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. We might have took the long
And there's Milton back.
Get us holding on. We're still together, still going strong. Still the one I want to, the one that I belong to. You're still the one I want for
Let's call the big one.
No hay nada nuevo, lo que alcanzamos fue muy bello, aunque no fue tan fácil, mira que sí lo hemos logrado, ellos fueron los que apostaron un fracaso a ti te pertenezco, baby, you're still the one I run to, baby, whoa, I love you, you're still the one I run to. I'm glad we didn't listen, honey. We wouldn't be together. You're the one I run to. A ti te pertenezco, baby.
Okay, so that was her first show ever, you know, and she was really nervous, but she came through for me for a little bit when I had told her to jump around my neck and all that stuff.
Yeah.
For about one fraction of a second, she got stuck, and I was ready to go "Choo," and bring her down. But she did it. She did it on her own. She came through for me, and that's the kind of training I give them. You know, like I said, I prepare people to survive because salsa right now is so competitive
Really?
that, you know, if you're going to be doing social dancing, you have to be a really good social dancer that understands everything about the roots of salsa and the roots of the styling that's going on right now. Salsa is no longer a dance of the Hispanics, okay, of La Raza. Salsa has become owned by all the trained dancers of the world. So you have trained dancers from Europe, from Africa, from India, from the Arabic countries, from China, from Japan, from the Philippines, you know, from just everywhere in the world is popular. It's popular. So it's just, and when I started doing it in San Francisco in 1978, I mean in 19, when I was 16 years old, I wasn't even finished with high school yet. But I had become a barber already at the time. Even though I was going to school, I was studying also, because like I said, I prepared myself to survive, and I knew I couldn't support myself being a paper boy. So I went to the barbering school, and I told them, I'm poor, but I want to be a barber because I don't want to be a paper boy anymore. Can I clean up your place, and in exchange for that, you teach me? So the gentleman was really nice to me, and he trained me how to clean his place, and he let me take all the course, and he trained me really good. They took me to Sacramento to pass my test. I passed the test, and I became a barber at 16, and that helped me. That helped me really a lot in my show business career. That's why I was able to lie to the radio station when I was 16 and tell them I was 18, because in those days, barbers had to wear a tie, okay, and a suit, okay? That you had to be like that. In those days, it was different. And so when I showed up at the radio station with money in my pocket and dressed up nice and everything else, and with a lot of popularity, because you know barbers and beauticians become very popular in the communities because we're very important to them. You know, we were the ones that made them look good. So that helped me a lot to break into the competition market of having a salsa program. At the time, like I said, I was the only one, and my dream was that everybody in the world will love salsa dancing and salsa music from Cuba as much as I did, because it's just so beautiful. I am not finished yet. I'm going to do some stuff later on where you're going to see everybody singing all our Spanish songs in English and in Spanish, and understanding why they are so beautiful, because I'll make sure that the words explain just how beautiful that feeling is. In fact, when I teach salsa dancing, I teach people the soul and the spirit. I don't teach them words and steps and stuff like that. I do that at the beginning. But once they become very good at doing the footwork, then I start telling them, now you're going to learn how to feel it. And then that's when they become, fluent expressions of the dancing and the music, soul and spirit. That's what I do with them. Yeah. And so, I just been lucky. I've been at the right place, the right time. And even when I got fired, look at what it did. It helped me. I ended up with the Giants, the 49ers, and all that stuff. How many people in little radio stations will ever end up working in the radio stations of the 49ers? And I did like that. Okay, like that. They fired me, went back to college. Within 2-3 years, there I was, And not only that, but when they fired me, I went and started working in all the radio stations in all the little cities around San Francisco. So I started making salsa more popular all over the Bay Area. That's why I'm the founding father of salsa in the San Francisco Bay Area, because I was the one that started that whole thing. So, okay, let's go to another clip, see what we got next. Put it on the screen and I'll tell you what it is. Just put any clip on the screen that we haven't played, and just whatever you want. Just put it on the screen.
Adrian?
Yeah, okay, that's great. That will show people a little bit about Hispanics. Okay, no, it's ready. It's ready to go. Okay. It starts on black. Okay, now we're going to go to what I did with my family, okay? I taught all my brothers how to dance, salsa, and how to appreciate salsa music and so on. And they all became my big supporters on the radio and on TV and at the Cow Palace and everything else. In fact, some of my relatives let me borrow money to do the shows at the Cow Palace. And so what happens now is one of my brothers went high into ballet. He went really high into ballroom. He went pretty high into jazz. And so now we're going to see one of my brothers. His name is Adrian Eliezer Bermudez, because I got two brothers named Adrian Bermudez. So I have to call one Adrian Bermudez Molina, and my brother Adrian Eliezer Bermudez, also the other one. So this is Adrian Eliezer Bermudez, and he's going to show us some great stuff. Oh, and by the way, you will see, read what it says there, that he's dancing with one of the top dancers in the world. So here we go. Just
Now,
let.
did he study in
No, he studied everything here
here? Okay.
in the United States. Right on 22nd and Mission, there used to be a ballet school that was Carvajal.
I met someone who went to Cuba.
Like the deep, deep beat of the tom-tom when the jungle shadows fall. Like the tick-tick tock of the snaky clock as it stands against the wall. Like the drip, drip, drip of the raindrops when the summer shower is through. So a voice within me keeps repeating, you, night and day. You are the one. Only you beneath the moon and under the sun. Whether near to me or far, it's no matter, darling, where you are, I'll make
Okay, so now you're going to keep listening to the singing and watching the letters, and then anytime now they'll start dancing. But for the effect, it starts kind of dark and then it gets lighter because they wanted to have that kind of effect in their. See, watch. So it starts really dark, see, and you can barely see them, see their shadows, and they'll come right into you. So yes, there you go.
Let me spend my life making love to you day and night, night and
Dancing. He's still dancing. Huh? Yeah, he's in San Francisco. Yeah. His first wife was French. No, but it shows that we Hispanics appreciate all kinds of music and perform all kinds of music, not just salsa. But she is such a great dancer, you know. Too bad that she retired. She's the only one that retired. Even Francois, that's almost like 100 years old. Francois, he's still, performing. But she taught my brother a lot of good discipline and everything. And the reason why the video is messed up is because in those days I couldn't afford a good camera. So my camera was starting to die. But hey, the thing is to capture the art. Who cares the quality? If it's good enough to where we can see it, that's good. Now here go the credits again. So I want you guys to see their names again and remember them, because she if you put her name on Google, you will get so many videos of her Rita Agnieser. Remember, just put her name and Google, and her teacher and Francois Zoni. He's all over the internet. Just put him on Google. Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you, Ron.
Yeah. So how are we doing time wise?
Well, it looks like we had a longer show. Yay! That's great. We didn't have the regular 22-minute show because the person who comes after, I guess, isn't doing the show today. So this
Okay.
is great because
So we can continue until 7.
Yeah, we. Yeah.
Because nobody's not here until 7. Okay. Well, let's see what other video you got there,
Okay.
and then as I see the video, I can tell you right away what's going on.
Okay. Let's see what else we have. We have 4. Yeah.
Yeah, look for anything and just put it on the screen and right away.
Oh, I like this one. Yeah. We haven't seen this one.
Okay.
Oops. Click here. Click.
Just put it on the screen and okay, there you go. Okay, now this is very special, ladies and gentlemen, because her mother and her father approached me and told me our daughter has been a ballerina since the age of 3, but she has a learning deficiency. But she has been training as a ballerina since the age of 3.
You know, my mother wanted me to be a ballerina.
Also.
And I started taking lessons when I was 3 also.
Also, yeah. Well, so I met her when she was like 14 or 15, and I did my best with her all the way until she turned 18. And by the time she turned 18, I started doing little demos with her. So here you're going to see a little, a little something about, what I was teaching her. So let's watch it and see what it is. Okay, her name is Calais, and here I'm teaching her to do one turn at a time in a salsa waltz. Okay, so that was a little bit of a salsa waltz that I taught her, okay? And as you could see, she follows me perfect. So it paid off for me to be with her from 14, 15 until she turned 18. And her mother and her father, they were real happy that she got to. And now, I think she's going to the Los Medanos College in Pittsburgh, and she's part of the dancing team of Los Medanos College. So I think that you will see her there, and
It's a cute final picture. I like that.
yeah, no, she was great, and because I found out at the last minute that you were going to have me at the program, I didn't get a better clip for her. If not, but the main thing is that it was teamwork. The mother and the father approached me and told me when she was 14 that they wanted me to train her to be a performer of salsa. She had already been trained, with that. With ballet. So and the people that invented the New York Latin Hustle, which is what I invented, right? They invented the New York Latin Hustle, and then I invented the mixing of the New York Latin Hustle with salsa and one. Okay, and so that's what I established in New York with the help of my teachers, and now everybody in New York that watches my videos and everything else, they get pissed off because they say, "What do you mean that you invented mixing salsa with Latin hustle?" We did. I go, yeah, but I did it before you guys did it because I did it in 1978 with the help of my teachers, and now my main teacher Nelly Cotto in New York, she just was put up in the Hall of Fame of Dancers of New York. So I have a pretty strong teacher up in New York that when people want to mess with me and what's the truth of my history, she's right there to defend me. So, I'm pretty well protected up there too. But people just get all over the world. They are doing imitations of what I put together, the New York Latin hustle mixed with salsa. And then when they find out that here it is in San Francisco, I'm the one that invented that, they get pissed off because a lot of people started doing all kinds of salsa dancing, and they mixed it with the Latin hustle after they saw me doing it. And they mixed it with merengue, with cha-cha, with afro, with everything.
Cumbia.
So, yeah, even cumbia, because nowadays people dance cumbia like salsa anyway. Nobody's really dancing cumbia because cumbia is a very folkloric dance from Colombia, and you don't you don't even do too much partner dancing when you're dancing cumbia with a partner. You barely connect with her now and then, and the rest of the time you guys are doing side by side the typical dancing, just like the typical dancing of Mexico and so on, all the folkloric dance. So that's what it is. But let's see what other video we got there that we haven't played.
Okay.
and see what we can just put it up on the screen.
I think we had 4, right?
I had several there. Whatever we haven't done, you can do. Go up and down, and I'll tell you when it's new. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, so we did all of them. Okay, so
I
like
wish you could show me a little bit.
yeah, if we
Yeah.
had space to do it, yeah.
You're making me want to learn.
But I did a demo with for the French TV. Remember, I did it in the studio, in the big
Marlena?
studio. Yeah, so I'm going to be replaying that and putting that on Facebook. As a matter of fact, this is what I want to do. I want to invite you guys to go see my name there. It says Ron Bermudez on the screen. If you look for me on Facebook with my full name, Ronald Bermudez, and you go look at all my videos, I have 2 pages, okay? I have 2 pages on Facebook of Ronald Bermudez. I have a lot of videos of my classes and salsa shows and everything else. So go there and you can learn to salsa with my classes that are free, and they are there. And they're both on Facebook, and just go through all my Facebook pages and look for the ones that where it says classes, and just start looking at the classes and learn free, and all that stuff. So you guys are, you gotta, and also if you become my friends and you don't want to go look for these things, then when you become my friends, I'll just put all the videos that will help you learn to dance salsa free, okay? I'll put them on your Facebook pages.
Oh, that's
So
really sweet.
yeah, so that's very important. But if you want to talk to me, then just call me or text me 24 hours a day, because I'm single and I don't have kids or anything like that. So I spend a lot of time with my kids because they are my best friends, and with my relatives and with my students. Your students become like part of your family. And so I am into all that. So call me 24 hours a day or text me 24 hours a day. I'll tell you the phone number real slow. 415, okay? 632-0250. Again, 415-632-0250, okay? And you can text me or call me 24 hours a day, and I'll get back to you, because if you text me and leave me a message at the same time, I'll get back to you real quick, okay? If I don't answer, if I'm there, I'll answer you right there. So how much time do we have? 49?
Ron, I don't think I told you, but there are quite a few Planet Glee viewers in Mali, in Africa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, because of the internet, because we're on the internet.
Well,
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot about that. I was referring to San Francisco. Okay, people of the world, forgive me. Okay, I keep forgetting that now we're worldwide because of the
yeah.
internet. So you guys
We're
can
so
also
lucky.
call me, or or look for me on Facebook and become my friends on Facebook, because I do have. I mean, I have a lot of people from all over the world that are my friends on Facebook. Okay, and they are some of the best uh, friends on Facebook for me. Okay, they really get into it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And I'm so glad that you came on the show today.
Thank you.
We should go because they're uh,
We have to get cleaned up and close our editing
right.
duties that we're doing up there. So anyway, one more time, you got my phone there. You can catch me. You got my Facebook page. It's just Ronald Bermudez. My name complete instead of abbreviated to Ronald Bermudez. And also, you can find me. I also have a couple of things on YouTube. Okay, on YouTube I have the classes and everything also. So, but it's under Ronald Bermudez. Okay, and if you guys get a group, listen to my offer. If you get a group of 10 people that can get together with you and you find a place where I can come and teach you guys classes, I'll give you 2 hours free. Okay, 2 hours free. But get together all your friends, call me. The days I can do it are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because the rest of the week I'm working on my TV program. And I'll give you guys 2 hours free so you can see what salsa really is like. Salsa is really easy nowadays the way I teach it and the way a lot of good teachers teach it. Because we no longer force our students to move their hips a lot because now salsa is, like I said, it's become like a walking dance, really elegant and so on. So trust me, it's easy. People get surprised because they come to my first day of classes and they don't even know they are dancing salsa. And I tell them, okay, how long have you been here? And they go, about a half hour. And I go, and you're doing that step there, right? Well, that's salsa. And you've been doing it already for the last 5 minutes. So you learn salsa in less than 5 minutes. Now, from here on, he'll be teaching you patterns, which is different from just dancing salsa. Now you're going to learn how to lead the lady, and the lady is going to learn how to follow you, which is something that a lot of people are messing up with. A lot of, especially ladies, they are getting into this thing where they want to be divas, and in the middle of this Hispanic, American Indian descendants dance, that is very, very much about partners supporting each other and projecting a beautiful show to the audience. Now we're getting all these ladies that they just want to let go of your hand and get in front of the stage and start doing all their solos. And it's cool to do it after your partner finishes the pattern. But if he's in the middle of a pattern and you let go of his hand, and then he feels frustrated because he's not doing what he wants to do with you to make you look beautiful. The job of a good leader, a partner, is to make you look beautiful. Understand that. He's not, if he's the type of guy that gets in front of you and he wants to be the star of the show, then he's not a good dancer and a good partner because it's you. Everything that Hispanics do and descendants of the American Indians is all about their ladies, their families, their thing, okay? We're just in the background supporting them one way or another. So, you're breaking the culture of the dance, okay? When you try and become a diva, and not only that, but I know a lot of really good dancers, world champions, top, that they don't dance anymore. They only dance with certain ladies. And then they go sit down there and they wait for the certain ladies to be free. They dance with them as much as they can. and that's it. But they don't dance with other ladies that they know that don't want to dance with the guy. They want to be divas. So that's what's happening between them. With me, I don't care. I don't care. If you want to be a diva and let go of my hand and everything else, I'll just dance around whatever you do for me, and I'll just make you look good one way or another. But most guys, they don't like it because they want to be able to do their parents to make you look beautiful. So keep that in mind if you want to be a good salsa follower. Okay?
Thank you, Ron.
Sure.
Yay! We're off. We're gonna say goodbye.
Okay, bye. Love you guys. Blessings and blessings for your family right now. I hope that nobody in your family or your friends ever gets hurt by terrorists. And I hope that any of the people that died in Europe or in the United States or anything like that, that they were not your relatives, okay? But right now we're going through a horrible time. So I know what to do. You know, I keep my eyes open, and trust me, if I see somebody with a gun and I can get him down in 10 seconds, I will. And I will not get him down and let him leave. If I get him down, I'll kill him, because I'm not going to let anybody shoot innocent people in front of me or shoot me. No way. I'm going to go down fighting, okay?
Thank you, Ron. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. You've
Sure.
given us a lot of things to think about. And politically, the audience, yeah, we were.
Oh, my
it's-
program is at 3:30 p.m. on Saturdays. I'm like that, you know. I'm thinking about you. I came from people in my family that were, my ancestors were the people that financed the preparation of an army to go attack the English that held black slave markets on the Atlantic coast of Nicaragua, and we liberated all the slaves that were there, okay? And we made them citizens of Nicaragua, okay? And now, you know, they are all over. Even in the 49ers, we have somebody, descendants of those slaves, that's playing for the 49ers. And then where else did we have somebody else that was from the, yeah, I know from in the 49ers, but they, you know, they are all over the place because they are good athletes, really good athletes. In fact, they practically are the leaders of sports in Nicaragua, because, you know, we really became really close with them. And somewhere in there, yes, I know that because the English owned part of Nicaragua for a long time, I have a little bit of English blood, but I also have a little bit of blood from the slaves that mixed with us, and so on. So it's weird because, you know, two races that are so opposite, an enslaving race like the English, and the black race that were their victims. And yet I have a little bit of blood of both. And the first people that came to the American continent and enslaved the black people, the people from Spain, I also have a blood from them. So it's a trip. It's a trip in the United States and in the whole continent of America. Because remember, I'm not from the United States. I'm from Nicaragua. But the thing is that, like my father told me when I was 7, you're descendant of the American Indians, so this continent from Alaska to Argentina is all yours. So that's
Beautiful,
what it
Ron.
is.
Thank you so
Okay?
much.
Okay.
Okay. We're gone.